If someone ever tells you business doesn't work, here's what they don't understand. Most people who fail ultimately at business just left too early. They assumed that they were going to make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time when they had never been on that path before. They had never been a business owner before successfully. And so it's kind of like, imagine if I went to a farmer and I said, I want to grow a tree. And so the farmer gives me a seed and says, just go take a seed, go plant it, water it, and eventually the plant will grow. So you take the seed, you go and plant it, you say, I don't know how long it's supposed to take. So I say to myself, you know what, maybe it'll take 3 hours. I've never done this before, but it shouldn't take more than 3 hours. In fact, I'll give myself 3 hours, and if it doesn't work in 3 hours, then something's wrong with this seed. You follow me? And so you plant it, you cover it in dirt, you water it a little bit, you wait 3 hours, thinking that because you made up the time frame of 3 hours on something you've never done before, you have no experience doing before, you already know where I'm going with this. And so you wait after 3 hours and nothing's happening. So you dig it up. You're like, okay, so something's wrong. So you dig up the seed, you look at it and you're like what? What's wrong with the seed? And then you're like, all right, let me try again. And so you put it back in and you cover it up in dirt, and I'm sure you can see the end result. It's not going to grow. I'm going to keep sabotaging it every single time. And so the biggest mistake with entrepreneurship or people that start a business or people that want to learn how to make more money, et cetera, is that they are starting a new path and then they tell themselves, I believe it should work in 6 months. I believe it should work in 3 months. I believe it should work in 1 year, because they heard someone else say that it took them 3 months, or they heard someone else say it took them 1 year, when in reality, that person had different skills, different experiences ahead of time that you have to build first. When you start something new, you're not going to be good. It's like starting a new sport. I'm not going to be good at it. However, like anything in your life, like a kid learning how to walk, if you're willing to stay at it long enough, it has to work for you. So if anyone ever tries to tell you, starting a business doesn't ever work, making money doesn't ever work, you work a 9-to-5 job, it's the only way, it means that they either have quit too early themselves, just like the seed. They thought it should happen in the time frame they imagined, or they heard a story of someone else that told them that it's impossible, so that their fears were being projected from someone else that quit. Or they saw someone online that also quit. I don't know who this was for, but if you're in that spot right now and you're in that season and it feels like things aren't working, believe me, they are. They are. Don't stop. Keep going.